All right, folks, if you're waiting for the Valor Soccer Team formation meeting, you're in the right place. Don't escape and start playing video games. Come on, kids. We'll start in like a minute.
Hey, good afternoon, evening, folks. Sorry, evening, 7 p.m. That's evening. We've just been here all day.
It's past his bedtime.
Yeah. Welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. If you are watching us for the Valor team formation meeting, you are in the correct spot. I'm Ray Johnson, Director of Coaching. This is my best guy here, Keith Blyer, Assistant Director of Coaching. We're going to run you through a ton of slides tonight, give you as much information as we can, try to entertain you for 45 minutes to an hour, and then some point over the next week or week and a half, you will have a breakout meeting with your teams where you'll get a little bit more information for just your team. We are really excited for this year, and we're ready to tell you some info.
Yeah, we're excited. We're also a little bit warm. It may be close to 90 degrees in our office right now, so you guys can play a little game at home. Which director will pass out or fall asleep at any point during this presentation? And you're lucky because we thought about tank tops, and then we decided, we'll go with the Valor polos.
That's why we didn't turn the cameras on at first. We had our tank tops on, and then we didn't have the right Valor logo, so we put the polos back on to class it up for tonight.
And you're welcome.
Right. Okay, we are going to jump into it. You will not see our face for the next 20 or 30 minutes. We have a bunch of slides, and then we promise we'll come back on. I know you guys will probably miss us, but we'll come back on.
And we're going to tag team this, so Ray Johnson gets to go first.
Okay, I see the first slide is up, so we're going to get rolling here. This is the Valor Soccer Team formation meeting, and we will not be monitoring the chat or taking questions during this presentation. Contacts will be provided at the end so you can reach out to us. Like we said, your team's head coach will be holding a separate virtual meeting over the next week and a half, somewhere before May 26th. So if you haven't heard from them quite yet, feel free to reach out to them and find out when your team meeting is. All right. This is the Valor Pride keeps getting bigger. We are so excited for the growth this year. We have been putting in a lot of work. We love this community. We have some great families here, and they have just helped continue to grow the Valor Pride. We had huge numbers this year, over 950 players at tryouts. We got about 45 Premier and Select teams. And our Premier Gold teams are going to be competing in the USU Soccer E64 and the RCL. Our black teams, gray teams, white teams will compete in the RCL. Select teams compete in the North Puget Sound League. Obviously, our Valor teams are led by some of the most experienced coaches in Washington, from a handful of A licenses to B licenses. We have a really strong staff here. Some of our core values, if you've looked at our badge at all, you'll see these words right on there. We thought they were extremely important to what we're trying to build. And the core values on our crest are courage, integrity, and honor. And courage for us is, are you brave and strong enough to do something hard? Do you have the courage to do that? Do you choose what is right before what is fast or easy? Your integrity. And then can you adhere to high standards and treat all with respect? These are our CREST values. All right, quick agenda for you to help you. We're going to go through all the teams and coaches. We're going to talk about our technical staff, our leadership, some of our partners, our affiliates. Then we'll jump into the Valor Way. We'll talk a bit about the Elite 64 program for the U13 through U15 in this team formation this evening. Some policies and protocols, sideline behavior and expectations. How do you do the registration? We're going to go through a little bit of that to give you some info. The club dues and fees, financial aid, our volunteer program. We're going to talk a little bit about Valor Day. Then new uniform vendor. So a little bit about uniform ordering and the process. And then player resources, our college placement program. I know these guys are a little bit young, but we definitely want to let you know how we do this. Some of our alumni that are moving on to the next level, and then a calendar for 23-24. Okay, I am not going to read all these coaches off, but we're going to give you a couple seconds. This is our U9 boys and girls teams, and these are all very good coaches. We're really excited for this age group, our foundation, our future. And here's the 14s for the boys and girls, another large group. We're really excited. We have a couple of new coaches this year in this group. So we're happy to have them join the Pride and be part of our staff. Okay, this is the 13 boys, U11. And again, another strong group, couple new coaches, couple coaches returning, and one old coach. Here's the 2012 group. Premier teams, very excited for this group, really strong. And this is our pre-E64 group for next year. All right, here's where the E64 starts at U13. These are the boys and girls at the 2011 age group, led by our very own Keith Blyer in the room.
Never heard of him.
He begged me to read his name off, so.
Yeah. Spelled right, which is, that's a plus always.
2010 boys and girls, teams right here. Coaching staff all sorted out here with the select team. We're just talking to a couple folks right now, hopefully have that sorted out. And this is the oldest age group for today's meeting, our 2009 boys and girls, the U15s. For some of these guys, it's their first year of high school, and they're just starting to really focus in on what the next opportunities might be for them after club ball. There's the best looking staff in the state. I know that. We got myself, Keith, Matt Wayman on there, Jesse Wheelock, our goalkeeping director, Rodney. We have Dean Aldridge, Rachel, Jenny, and Christy, our communications person, who's sitting right next to me. And she's been begging me to do one of the slides. I told her we'll see what happens.
Now, the best smile here belongs to a Johnson, and it ain't Ray.
Here's a couple of our partners. As you may have saw, our New Jersey sponsor, Tacoma Stars. We're really excited to partner with them this year. And, they play games right here in our neighborhood. So we work hard with those guys. And then we have our new uniform vendor, Capelli Sport. You can see Stat Sports, Pro Score, NCSA. Those are all our partners through E64. We use Sports Recruits for our college placement program. And then we have VIO, our cameras, Team Genius for our evaluations and tryouts, and then Sports Connect is a platform we use for registration. So our partners. Okay, and a couple of the leagues that we play in, as we talked about, we are a U.S. youth soccer club playing under the Washington Youth Soccer umbrella. Our top level premier teams for U13 through U19 play in the Elite 64, or you may hear us call it E64 throughout the night. And then all of our premier teams play in the RCL Regional Club League, very high level league that all of our teams compete in on the premier side. On the select side, we play in the North Puget Sound League, another really well-run league that has some great competition in it. And if you guys are wondering, it is 89 degrees in the room we're in right now. Keith's trying to hand me some water because he can see I'm having a good time sitting in front of this mic.
Hey, and we chose black shirts, by the way. That was really smart on our part, wasn't it? Okay, so my turn. Just talk a little bit about the soccer. You may hear this phrase a lot, the Valor Way. It means a lot to us. It is a work in progress. We would admit that. It's something we care deeply about. And it's not just the way you play soccer, it's the way you carry yourself. And it's what matters most to us as a club, meaning the directors, meaning all the coaches, meaning the team managers, and then, of course, you, the players. So we want this to be as positive a place as possible, okay? And we're going to support you as much as we possibly can. It is a performance environment, so understand that there are going to be stressors, there are going to be hard days, but overall, we want this to be a safe and fun place to play soccer because it is a game, people. And we prioritize individual development. Sure, we're going to play to win every single time we're on the field, guys. But we want to make sure that every player on the team is getting better at soccer and maybe even a little better at life as well. We also believe that we can measure the progress of a team not only by its wins and its losses, but is it playing the Valor Way, right? And we're gonna touch on that here in just a second. And like I said, compete. And I would like to add something. Instead of play competitively in every match, how about every match and every training session? Compete with each other.
Definitely.
It's okay. It's okay. Bump into each other. Just make sure you lift each other up. And then, of course, sportsmanship. And I do take great personal pride in the way I think almost all Valor players and coaches handle themselves because we see the other side.
And almost all parents.
Oh, yeah, almost all parents. How were your parents, by the way, when you played? They were great.
They were great. Well,
Yeah.
my mom was really loud, but
She cared, Ray. She cared. So what we do is, obviously, it takes courage and patience. But we believe in developing the individual first and utilizing a style that produces the best possible players. The good stuff, the sweet victories, are the big wins and big matches by playing true team soccer. Okay, so what is the Valor Way? I won't spend too much time on this. Principles and style of play, or as we call them, pop and sop, right? It's the way we play soccer. And this should apply to almost every player that we're talking to and every parent that we're informing tonight. We want every player in our club to have the confidence to control the ball and secure possession. None of this boot ball stuff. We try to avoid that as much as possible. When we defend, we want you to put pressure on the ball, but we want you to be smart about it, okay? And then when we transition to attack, can we make the first pass or two? For us, the pass is king, okay? And we also like to use the width of the field. Let's spread it out, and let's work our way around the opponent as much as we do through or over them. So there are various phases in the Valor Way. And one is the youngest ones, right? The discovery phase. And that's all about having fun, right? So if you're a U9, U10 player and you are watching this tonight, we just want you to love soccer. We're going to make, just basic activities, frequent small-sided games, but fun is going to be the top priority. And that doesn't mean it stops getting fun, right? When we move into the next phase, which is U11 to U12, foundational phase, it's about making the player, right? So we continue to keep it fun, but now you've got some frequent technical activities to introduce and refine ball mastery. So we work really, we work regularly on the ball. Some of those unopposed activities that make you really skillful, the techers, as some kids like to say. And we like to ramp up from 1v1 to 3v3, and obviously teach the teams how to attack as a unit and defend as a unit, right? And this is where we start to embed the principles of play. Next is developmental phase. So that's the U13 to U15, the oldest players that we're talking about now. We want training sessions to be competitive for sure. We still work on the technical components, but now we're starting to embed maybe larger group tactics, right? How do you as a unit attack and defend? Not only in your lines, but as an entire team of 9, 10, 11 players, right? And then learn the demands of your role. This is when we start to get a little more specific about what position you play and the position that you play most often. We want versatile players, so we want you to play in multiple positions, but it's really important to make sure that you know what the role is when you're in a certain area on the field. And proof of concept, this is pretty cool. This is just this year. So recent success when it comes to the Valor Way. The boys 2007 Premier Gold, they won State Cup. Bravo. The boys 2008, yeah, they're going to the regionals to represent Valor across the entire far west of this country. The 2008 boys, they won the Founders Cup. And our 2013 Premier Black team just finished up a great run and got to the finals of the President's Cup. And what I like about this is all various levels being represented with success. State Cup, Founders Cup, President's Cup. Check, check, check. All right, your turn, Ray.
All right, here we go. Thanks, Keith. That was really good. That was fun. It's we've been working on these slides for a little bit, so we haven't been through all of them every day. So seeing those three teams up there in this cups was really cool. Again, I was at all three of those games, and it was really fun to watch and be part of. So, all right, let's talk about Elite 64 for a moment. And this is going to be a handful of slides, so if it doesn't pertain to your team, just bear with us. We want to try to give a little bit of information about it. If you are hopeful to be a part of E64 soon, then listen up, and we're going to share with you, okay? So what does the experience look like for our U13 through U19s for this playing cycle? And those two photos in the front there were from events for E64 this last season, which were really fun. But here's a little screenshot for you, the league play for our Premier Gold E64 teams. We play in the Northwest Conference of Elite 64, and we will play against 6 to 8 other clubs right now. And the league play will consist of a minimum of 9 league matches. So we'll play, what we're going to do this year is we're going to do 3 event weekends. And we are likely to host one here, one in Oregon, and one in Utah. Okay, these are these are in the planning period right now, and I am working with all the other DOCs to get these dates finalized. So we hope to have that to you at the beginning of June, and sooner hopefully. But that's the game plan right now. The new thing for Elite 64 this year for the Northwest Conference is the winner of league play. So of this conference with our 6 to 8 teams in it, we'll get an invite to the Far West Regionals. Usually the National League Conference gets one of these awards, and the State Cup winner gets one of these awards or invites to Far West Regionals. So now we will also have that as part of Elite 64. Okay, the Elite 64 playoffs. All Elite 64 teams from all regions will go to Elite 64 playoffs this year. This is taking place instead of the showcases. If you were part of Elite 64 last year, we did showcases down in Arizona, and a couple of you went to Texas, and a couple of us went to Tampa. Now they're going to do this Elite 64 playoffs. And for us on the West Coast, that's going to be in Arizona in November. And when you go down there, you will compete and try to get to the next round of Elite 64 Nationals, okay? And the next event is called the National League Pro event, and that will also be on the West Coast in California in May. So teams that do really well at the playoffs are going to get this next opportunity.
So it's worth mentioning right here, too, that that's for U14 to U19. So the U13 teams that we have currently would not have the opportunity to advance. And you do have to do well. You've got to do well in that tournament in Arizona to qualify.
100%. And the U13s, because it's their first year playing 11 aside, and even though we are an elite platform, we just don't think they need to travel that much. And so we worked really hard to make this a little easier for that first year in. Okay. And then like he was saying, you have to perform well to get to this pro event. And then once you get to the pro event, now you're going to play in an event that has both the Elite 64 and the National League Conference winners that have moved into the pro event. So you're now going to play against the top teams in the country at the pro event. And the teams that do well there will get an opportunity to go to the USU Soccer National Championships, which are generally in July. And they're over in Florida the last couple of years at the Disney Sports Center.
These are incredible facilities, by the way.
Ridiculous.
Any of you that are looking forward to these potential trips, wait until you see the facilities that you'll get to play on and take advantage of when you're at these events. If you do well at the Nationals, you advance to the Worlds, and if you do well at the Worlds, you advance to the universe, and we're going to play on Mars. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Yep. And we had to hire one Martian so that we could facilitate this. All right, next one. All right, so these are the E64 partners. You have ProScore, Evolve One, NCSA, Stat Sports, and one more soccer profile. And this all comes with part of our E64 opportunity that we have for those elite teams.
And that obviously means the GPS trackers, the trackers that the kids wear, which is really good data for them. The ProScore video analysis, which is great data for the team, and the NCSA, which is college recruiting.
And the Evolve One is a mental health app / program that's just being rolled out. It's really cool. So we're looking forward to getting involved with that here in the next couple months. Okay. Okay. So we're jumping back into the entire group here. Thanks for bearing with us as we went through some of that E64, and I'm sure we'll have lots of questions on that as we go, and more answers that we get, the more we'll share as soon as we have it. All right, real quick on a couple policies for you guys. I'm going to do a couple, and then I'm going to let KB jump in so I can get a drink of water here. The Valor playing time policy, we've adjusted here a little bit with feedback from our coaching staff, our parents, our families, our kids, and just what's going on across the country on how to manage these. So we've adjusted it to 15 minutes of playing time in each match. This policy does not apply to our E64 high school age group. So 15 through 19, when they're playing in E64 or Washington Youth Soccer state championships. And part of that reason is the subbing rules in this area are a little bit trickier. So we'll share more as we build these teams and you get in front of your people. But we thought it was a little adjustment, but valid.
There are a couple things, and obviously there are arguments on all sides of this. We're very proud of our playing time policy. We think that it proves that we are about developing players at Valor as much as we are winning games. But we also want players to earn their time with that good standing. And we communicate with our coaches all the time about what good standing should mean. It used to be 20 minutes. So in full transparency, we have dropped that to 15. But that's for every league, tournament, and cup match you play in. As for it not applying to the high school age, so U15, help me out, that's 2000 for this year, 2008. So 2008 and older. 2009? 2009. Yeah, right. 2009 and older. If you're on an E64 team, it will not apply to your E64 play. So if you are playing an RCL match or you're playing in a summer tournament match, the playing time policy does apply. We're talking about E64 league and playoffs, and we're talking about the Washington Youth Soccer State Cup and beyond.
These are a couple of our other policies with the severe weather policy. Inside the severe weather policy is not only like the heat, which is good right now.
Right now, we're fine. We're cooking.
Warm.
We're cooking. We should have canceled this. What does it say on the training cancellation? Severe weather policy for
the wet bulb globe say it isn't here. This also has to do with the smoke. As everybody knows, we've had a ton of issues with wildfires in the last couple of years and unhealthy air. So we're monitoring that. This also has to do with, I know, bear with me, the cold weather planning. I could use a little now, maybe. So the severe weather has a lot of things in it, and we keep it as a living document to try to update it and match what U.S. Youth Soccer is doing and U.S. Soccer across the country. Other things on here is just a training cancellation policy, and you'll get this information from your coaches as you get going, and we'll probably push it out to all of them for sure.
Exactly. And if you want it, if you're curious, we'll pass it along to you. These are blanket policies so that we're consistent across our entire club.
What's the other thing up there? Training, private training. So we don't have a picture up here, but I'll just touch on this real quick. For our Valor coaching staff, there's a private training policy. They are not allowed to do private trainings for players that they coach, just because it makes it very sticky. Mm-hmm. So just a couple things there.
Just a classic conflict of interest there in a couple ways. So we're talking about if your head coach, if you would like your current head coach to be a private trainer for you, we discourage that. In fact, we don't allow it.
It's good that Keith jumped in on a couple of these because I was able to take a quick sip there.
Yeah. Christy fell asleep though. She's sound asleep.
Yeah, we had to wake her up to push the button for us.
Yeah. She's just here for the YouTube videos, so here they come. All right, I get this one. Everybody's favorite topic, sideline behavior. And with all due respect, we're not talking about whether or not our kids sit on the bench properly or what our coaches necessarily say. We're talking about the other sideline, okay? And we understand it. We get it. I'm a soccer parent of a kid who's currently flies back from England tomorrow, having played, over there in an academy and having played high level. And I know what it's like to be on both sides. So does Ray.
Yeah. Soccer parent also.
Yep. And so it's tricky. And Doug Lemov is, someone that I respect greatly. Great book, by the way, if you want to look that one up. But what ultimately, when you're coaching your child from the parents' sidelines, when you're communicating with them, what is that about? It's about a lot of things, but you know what? It's your stress. You're stressed as a parent, right? You want your kid to play so well. You want your team to do so well. You want them to be happy when they get in the car afterwards, right? Well, you're responsible for their mood, both before, during, and after a match. And we believe that the coaching should come from one sideline. And we're not perfect. Understand that. But we like to make this point every single year. What is the truth about sports parents? Love this video. Ask the kids themselves.
It doesn't really matter if they compliment me on how I play. I just I prefer my parents to, not talk as much.
I can hear them cheering me on, and I'm thinking in my head, just shut it, I'm trying to focus.
My mom yells in Spanish,
go, go, go.
My mom usually says, use the backboard. You should use the backboard.
So that is that's just a snippet. And if any parent on our sideline tells a kid to use the backboard, first of all, that's not the best coaching instruction, right?
If any of our coaches tell the kids to use the backboard.
But hopefully you understand where we're coming from. Ask your own child. I think your own child will tell you, what, I would prefer you give me a little bit of feedback at some point. But I've always said the best question to ask after a kid gets into the car is, what, you want ice cream or you want frozen yogurt? Okay. And then let them instigate the conversations or start them if they want to. So, what does that parent on the sideline look like to a referee? This is what some parents, unfortunately, and I'm not trying to chide, but this is what it can feel like as a ref.
Are you kidding me, ref? Are you kidding me, ref?
Hello there. If you're like most parents, your child doing well in sports is pretty darn important to you. In fact, you're probably willing to do whatever it takes to help them succeed. Even correct the refs when necessary.
Back into her, huh? Come on.
You give them extra practices, tips on form. But what if I told you the real secret to giving them the edge? Would you do it? Great. Because it's you lightening up.
Just some food for thought there. And I will say I've been doing this I've been coaching for almost 30 years. Been around the game of soccer for, I'm not going to tell you how many years because now you can add it up and have an age. But I've never once had a referee walk over to me as a coach and say, you know what? I just heard from your parent on the other sideline. And they're right. They're right and I'm wrong.
Make a change.
Right. So what generally happens is the referee goes, that group of parents, they're a little rowdy. I think I'm going to put them in their place. And then it affects the child negatively. I mean, it can't happen. So,
and I think, just watching that video a little bit, we're trying to let you see how ridiculous it can be. Most of our parents are really, really good. And our referees, they're doing their job out there, and some are better than others. But they're all out there to do a job, and most of them care that the kids have a fun environment and safe environment.
Our coaches are learning on the job. Your kids are learning as they play. Those referees are learning as well. And some of them are about a quarter of the age of a parent and understand, obviously, who you're talking to and how scary you can be to an adolescent referee. But you're right, Ray. Most of our parents are fantastic. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Just chill. If you feel that blood pressure rising, and I've been there, just chill. Okay. Okay. All right, registration process. This one's a little more right down Main Street here. Now, from what I understand, this may not look exactly like the email that you're going to get. They've kind of they've reformatted and they've made it prettier. But you should receive, and most of you should have already received an email from bluesombrero.com. Check that spam folder. Click the link, right, and that will send you to your Sports Connect account. Then what you do is you go to participants. And by the way, we're going to make a PDF of this presentation tonight available to you, and there will be a link to the video for those of you that are watching it with one eyeball while binging Netflix or watching your kid play softball.
TikTok.
Yeah. Or you're our new coach, Saeed, and you're in Morocco and you're sound asleep. Hi, Saeed. Click accept or decline. We hope it's accept. And once you've read the contract, then it's yes, and the continue button. And you're in. Okay. So club dues. Here is the sticker price. And we believe we're competitive with all clubs in the area of our level. We actually think that if you sat down and figured out how many dollars and cents you paid to play club soccer for the year, there are clubs that will charge far more than this. But we want you to know that the E64 Premier Gold Club dues, so that's U13 to U15 of the people that are on this call. It's the same for the older groups too, isn't it, right? Yep. Yeah. $29.75. That includes the additional $350 for the E64 participation. I'm no whiz at math, but if you look, Premier U13 to U19, so our black teams, grays and whites, they're $26.25. And then you add, obviously, the $350 to the E64 groups. U11 and 12 are cheaper, $20.75, and the U9, U10 are $16.75. Our select program, it's a $12.75 due fee, and you can see that it encompasses just about everything. We'll talk about the things that it doesn't, but understand that there's a lot that goes into all of this, and it's mostly to cover costs for our club. Very important point. Accepting a position on a U13 to U15 Premier Gold team secures your participation in E64. There's really not an option to opt out.
And like we said, we're going to send this information out. You can read through it. So you're going to have all these slides in PDF. And you can rewatch the video if you want. And Keith and I will sound the same.
Unless we're in here again doing it. Let's do it every night.
Yeah,
kind of enjoying
just
this.
Keep practicing. We'll get it.
We'll get it down. We'll have this dialed in by 2028. Payment options. You can pay in full. A big fee of 75 cents to do that. Get it out of the way. But we are happy to offer a payment plan. You do need to pay $375 deposit
for Premier.
Yep, and $175 for Select. And then we set you up on 9 monthly installments. There's a little bit of an additional fee for that. 2.85%. Bray's going to do the math. I'm not.
Yeah, I'll crunch it out later.
Team fees. So this is the stuff on top of the fees that you just saw. And most of you have been in club soccer for a bit, and you know when these pop up. Obviously, extra tournaments or tournaments that your team plays in that are not E64 events. The entry fees for that, they're obviously not free to play in. Travel expenses for team members, and that means coaches. That means chaperones. And obviously the affiliated hotel costs. We have a club travel policy that we can share with you as well. And then anything you do kind of off the field, team building activities and parties. I really think that, and this is important for all of you aspiring team managers out there, and we hope there are a lot of them. Make sure that you kind of run ideas by, first of all, your group, and then secondly, a director if you think, well, should the team be doing this because it's going to cost extra money? And I can think of a couple examples. I won't share them here today, but anytime you say, you all owe $25 for this, we need you to think about what this is and has that been approved by the club. And we're big on fundraisers, so get approval from a person in the club. But
yeah, and
love
generally the
defray costs.
fundraisers, Rachel will approve most of those. So just run it by her. There's a couple that don't work for youth organizations. So just run it by any fundraisers past Rachel, and she kind of dives into it and gives you the thumbs up.
Okay, financial aid. I mean, it hurts our heart when we hear we want to do this, we can't afford it. And we take every single one of those cases seriously and with total merit. And so we're dedicated to providing as much as we possibly can. But there is a process, right? And so here's how it works, okay? You must complete the financial aid application, but that's after you've been offered placement on a team, which you have accepted the offer, which like 98% of you have, and then you've completed the registration, which like a lot of you have. And we want everybody to do it. So once you've done that, okay, you choose the payment plan option. You pay the initial deposit. So we are hoping that you can afford the $375 for Premier, $175 for Select, and then choose a response of no when asked to opt out of your volunteer hours. This is important. If you want financial aid from the club, we believe it is entirely fair to ask you to help us at times. And we are so desperate for volunteers. We have so many things that we need throughout the entire year, all kinds of opportunities.
Yeah,
to
I
help
mean,
us.
lots, and we'll talk about the volunteer stuff in just a second, but we send something out every week looking for volunteers.
Can't tell you how much I personally, Ray everybody just appreciates those people that set up the tents, the ones that help us with tryouts, the ones that come in and go through 190 boxes worth of new gear, right? Pretty exciting.
The ones that wash the pennies.
Yep. So big date in red. It's like 2 weeks away. June 2nd is the financial aid deadline.
All right. Like I said, volunteer hours. This is a huge part of our club. We ask every Premier and Select family to obligate and serve 8 hours of volunteer time over the course of the playing cycle. Volunteer opportunities include tasks that support Valor as a whole, setting up on game days, assisting at club events, administrative support. Like we said, we send something out almost every week looking for volunteers to help out in some manner. So the opportunities are there. We had some that were at tryouts that knocked out all 8 hours over the last 3 weeks, or 2 days for some of them. They just came out, volunteered at tryouts, helped us clean up, moved things around. It's nothing too hard. Now, occasionally we'll have an opportunity for somebody that has a skill. Like if you have a backhoe and you can come out and help us dig a ditch, that would be amazing, you know. So we try to offer a lot of opportunity for our volunteers. If you are somebody who is crazy busy and you move around a lot, you got 25 kids that you're sorting out every week, we do have a buyout. Okay, so you can opt out of volunteer hours, pay the $150, boom, no problem. Don't have to stress about getting those 8 hours in. Okay, if you do opt out and say I'm gonna get my volunteer. I'm sorry, I don't want to say this backwards. If you do choose to opt out and you do not complete your volunteer hours in full, then you're charged $200. And that happens on March 3rd this year. Okay. Or you need to have your volunteer hours done by March 3rd. Okay, so it's a month longer than last year. Last year we did February, so we're saying March now. Okay, and then if you don't get those done, you didn't fulfill it, then we give you this $200 charge. If you get sorted out in the next month, we will refund you that money. Okay, we would rather have your hours than charge you the money.
Exactly.
I mean,
and we need a
it.
lot of help toward the end of the year.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
The final deadline to complete your volunteer hours is April 28th next year. Okay. Here's some of our club roles that have volunteer opportunities. Select coaches, assistant coaches. And a reminder, an assistant coach needs to be approved by myself or one of our directors and the head coach of the team. Very important. Do not assume you're the assistant coach without having talked to the head coach.
And the head coach goes, I don't have any idea who that guy is. that wouldn't go over. No.
And then we have our team managers, our team treasurers, and club photographer. The club photographer also needs to get the okay from us to be a club photographer. Don't come to us, turn in 10,000 pictures of your child and say you are the club photographer for your volunteer hours. You need to get the okay from myself or Christy or Rachel to be in the club photographer, okay? Let's see what else we got. Yeah, if you sign up for one of these club roles, you do have to go through your background check, your safe sports, all those things, and we want you to get that done as soon as you can. Okay, so we say you have 14 days once you got the okays and approvals to get sorted out with all those things and be in Sports Connect. Okay, why do we do that? The problem is, at the end of the year, I'm going to have 5 people come to me and say, I was this all year long. I should have already got my hours. There's no way for us to know that unless somebody tells us. And then if you haven't done any of your safe sport or any of your safety trainings, we will not grant you those hours because we have to make sure that you are, in good standings to be on those volunteer roles for the club. Okay. And these are specific club roles. Sign Up Genius is what we send out for all of our volunteer hours. So you'll get emails from them that'll say, hey, we have these opportunities for you. And it's pretty easy to just go on there, click it, put your name in, you're good to go. Okay. Valor Day, one of the coolest things that we do here. We love this day. It's been a great thing for our families, for our players. I think like 2 of 4 days have been really sunny and nice and a couple rainy ones. But as you can see on the pictures here, we had some blow up things. We just really want to celebrate our community and our families and have some fun. Entry's free. We don't charge you to do this. Okay. Entry is free. We do, however, ask that each of our Premier and Select teams provide a gift basket that we do an auction for. This is how we help with our scholarship fund and manage some of those families that need a little extra help. This is one of the ways we do that. So we ask every Premier and Select team to put a gift basket together, has a value of $100 or more, and then a couple of desserts you slide down there, and we do a dessert walk or whatever we did last year. Almost got Christy to say something. It was close. And then Ray puts
one in his trunk of his car, and then we put the other out. Yeah, but that's why
one
it's
for me,
2.
One for the walk for the kids. But we do ask that every team does this. And as of right now, the Valor Day is Sunday, September 17th. No Seahawk home game this day. Thanks, NFL, for getting the schedule out last week. And then you can see over there what kind of stuff we got. Food trucks, soccer, tennis, cornhole, silent auction, the dessert dash. Oh, that's what it's called. Valor Day.
That's fun.
I'll tell you what. We had a kid just this last week that left Valor a couple years ago. They're coming back to play here now. And part of the reason was they can't wait to go to Valor Day.
Yeah. And
it was so cool to hear just because we think it's a great thing,
Yeah. This is a cool thing.
This is a pretty cool thing. Uniform kit. We have partnered with Capelli Sport in our next uniform vendor. for the 23-24 cycle. Our kit price for the required amount of things you are required to buy for your kit is $365, which I think is about $20 less than our Nike kits. So yeah, we're excited. We got a couple pictures of our players up here. You can see the uniforms on the slide there, the gold and the black, and we're really excited for them. We think they look really sharp. We have a couple in our office that Keith's been trying on all day, and they're pretty good. So we're excited to partner with Capelli Sport. Along with this uniform partnership, they also offer some really cool opportunities for our player development. In fact, our coaching staff, our director staff, has been going to Capelli Sport Education and getting to work with all of their technical directors in Capelli Sport. So it's been very cool.
Okay, we won't spend too much time on this. First of all, we respect your time. We got 12 minutes, so we're going to make it work for you. All right. Yes, most of the players that are part of these U9 to U15 teams aren't exactly thinking about college yet. They don't even know what they're doing tomorrow. Okay, but we care deeply about growing this part of our program. And you know where it starts? It starts with that U9 player who's got a dream. It starts with the U14 player who isn't quite sure how to do it and starts to learn. So the college placement program is one that I think takes a step forward every month, and Sports Recruits is a big part of it. We're really happy that we will continue Sports Recruits, and this is a resource not necessarily for you yet, but it's going to be made available to players on our older premier teams, and it connects them to every college coach in the country immediately. I, as a current college coach, someone who recruits, I can tell you that this is probably the top platform when you ask players where they like to be and how they like to communicate, and you can find all kinds of information. So those are all the things that are in your future, because you can get there from here.
Excuse me.
Other resources, we do webinars on a regular basis. That's a kid who plays at George Fox named Johnny Keblish. He gave his advice to players last year. We provide an annual checklist for you, and then you've probably seen those green eyes in the sky, the VO cameras. We have 5 of them now.
5. They
They have live stream capabilities, so we will make those available regularly, mostly to our older teams, to be fair, for obvious reasons. But they are available for just about every coach to check out, and then we do kind of a priority on that. But I would like to work hard and try to get around to as many teams as we can and give them a chance to live stream their games. Pretty fun.
Yeah, and it's really a cool tool for you as parents and for your kids to go back and watch the game. It's really hard to see yourself play when you're on the field.
Yep. Great way to get better, and a great way to promote yourself. You make highlight reels out of that VO system.
And for our parents that love to coach, I mean, while you're watching the game at your house, feel free to coach all you want.
Between your 4 walls, absolutely. Just a few recent commits that have moved on to higher levels. Liam Rasmus, probably in the bottom right, is the newest addition, and he took a non-traditional route, which was fantastic. That's where my own son is. He's at an academy in England. Liam has returned, wants to be a coach. Pretty cool. What about the ones that are graduating just about now? That Valor class of 2023, 5 or 6 strong at least, going on to play college soccer. We'll announce that next week. And additional resources. So the Team Genius evals that you get. You ever want to learn about what's best for soccer nutrition? Reach out to a coach. They'll reach out to a director. We'll get you that. We have a YouTube channel. And if you ever want to work on your own, we created individual workout sessions going back to good old COVID times. But they still apply. And they're great with links to video and everything else.
All right, back in. We're going to whip through these as quick as we can because we got 9 minutes. This is our U13, U15 Premier Gold Boys schedule. Like we said, we are going to send you all of this information so you don't have to try to study it and get it memorized. Basically, through the summer, we're going to do some tournaments, 2 to 3 tournaments. Coach decisions will be announced soon for our Elite 64 teams. We have national finals this year. June 29th through July 3rd in San Diego for our 2022-23 playing cycle teams, okay? Early August, E64 league play or tournament is to be announced. We have a couple breaks in there, one in July, one in August. These are club breaks, little recovery, great time to take a vacation, good time for your kids to take a step back, relax, enjoy their summer without having their soccer schedule, okay? We jump right into the fall for league play, and this is for the premier side is the RCL, and then E64 league play will be sometime probably between August and May. Okay, we're still working through all those. We got a couple holiday breaks in the wintertime around Thanksgiving, and then again around December to January during the Christmas time. And then we jump right back into the winter-spring season, January through May, E64 Washington Soccer RCL. And then we're right back here to tryouts, and Keith and I are deciding how to get this microphone to work.
And the air conditioning in the office.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, this is our Premier Gold Girls, very similar. You have the summer tournaments, you have E64 National Finals for the 22-23 playing cycle teams, and then league play. Same breaks. For this age group, still September through December, kind of your fall season. Our U15-09 girls, some of them will be ninth grade, some of them will be high schoolers. So we offer what we call a gap team or an eighth grade league team, and they'll play in the RCL or, depending on the number of players, we may play one in the RCL, one in the NPSL. But those girls that are going off to high school will do their high school season. Those girls that are in eighth grade or not playing high school will do the gap season, okay? That's in the fall, and we'll get more info as we get closer for those 09s. And then you got the 2 winter breaks again. Winter-spring leg pops back through, and then guess what? Tryouts again.
The most beautiful time of the year.
All right, these are our youngers, U9 through U12. This is for the boys and girls. Very similar schedule for those genders. So we have 2 to 3 summer tournaments. These are coach decision for a lot of our, a decent amount of our teams. They'll do the Cornucopia Cup that we host in July. And then you have your 2 summer breaks, just like before. These are club breaks. We try to get them all on the same week so that everybody can shut down. Since we have coaches that coach multiple teams, we try to give them an opportunity to get some recovery as well. And then you have your fall season that starts right after Labor Day. And this will run through beginning of December, mid-December, goes right into our breaks there and the holidays. And then we pick back up in January, about middle of January or so for the league play. And then you have state cups and President's Cup, and then
Tryouts.
so we look forward to it every year. All right, here's our select schedule for U9 through U15 boys and girls. Again, the 09s are in a similar boat where they have a couple that'll be starting high school, a couple that are still in 8th grade, so we form an 8th grade team, possibly combining Premier and Select, or if we have enough, we'll do 2 teams, okay? 2 to 3 tournaments. These are coaches' decision. These guys will all be playing in the Cornucopia Cup in July that we host here, 14th through the 16th. Just checking with Christy on that one in July. So really fun tournament that we host and that we do here at Valor. So all of our select teams participate in that. And then the fall season starts for the NPSL, North Puget Sound League, same as the RCL the weekend after Labor Day. I think that's September 10th or 9th, 10th, somewhere around there. And then we got the same summer breaks. We have the 2 holiday breaks for the winter time, and then they will pick up their spring NPSL league, which I think starts a little further into February because the Founders Cup for them, this is their end of season or their state cup is called the Founders Cup for Select. That starts January-ish, January, February. And then shortly after that is when the NPSL spring season starts. And then tryouts. Oh man, we are Valor.
That's it.
We are
did it.
Valor. Follow us on
We did
social
it.
media. We're really good at social media.
Yeah, we as in a couple of us. Ray.
I can say it.
Ray's going to invent a few TikTok dances.
Yeah.
He's going to do that. And I'm still trying to figure out what Twitch is. Not sure what it is, but we're on it. So
And we're back.
here we are. We made it. Neither one of us fell asleep. Neither
Couple
one of us-
stumbles over words, nothing major.
Yeah, didn't pass out.
Didn't pass out.
Didn't melt.
Drank a whole bottle of water.
Thank yous, right?
Thank you.
Everybody who helped us with building all the slides and all of that.
I mean, huge thank you to Jesse and Matt. They were huge putting this together with us. Rachel, our chief operating officer, huge ton of work behind the scenes for us. Jenny in the office, Leah in the office, everybody that supports us that you don't get to see on camera. Thank you so much. Obviously, I would turn the camera, but she would get really mad at me. Christy is sitting next to us all day long.
That's a hard no.
Yeah,
That's a hard no. But she did a great job. Thank you, Christy.
She always does a great job.
Yep.
She even tries to make me look good. I mean, Keith's pretty easy, but she
Please.
tries hard.
Please.
But we really appreciate all of our people here. And then huge thank you to all the players and the families that came out to tryouts. Without you guys, you wouldn't get to see this show.
Yeah.
I know that.
You are the club,
And
not
we
us.
Really, really appreciate every single one of you. We're extremely available if you have questions. We have an office that's open every day. Pop in here, check it out, say hello to us, ask questions. We
You
are.
might want to wait until the AC's fixed, but you are welcome. You're absolutely welcome.
Yeah.
You're also welcome. Ray and I are going to go across the street and go jump in the Cedar River to cool off, so you can do that as well. Here's the shirt, by the way.
Yeah,
How
this is
sharp
the one that Keith tried to put on. This is a youth. Small.
I've lost enough weight tonight that I could probably wear this, Ray. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much. We are so proud to be Valor. We're excited for our community, for each one of our players. You guys are the reason we're here. So thank you so much. And as we say, we are Valor.
Valor. 758. Boom.